So, yeah, there's a lot to unpack with this chapter, and not in a good way. Let's address the elephant in the room. Takeru Hokuzono is human. I know, I was surprised too. This mangaka has been going crazy for weeks. The artwork, the fighting choreography, the multiple spontaneous events happening concurrently, the build up to what looks to be the biggest climax he's written thus far. We Bocce Bros are spoiled. Y'all better be grateful for what you have and not begin dogging on Hokuzono for giving us an incomplete chapter. You're upset about it? Pick up the pen and take over. Come on, pick it up, chop chop. You have 7 days to complete the next chapter. Mangaka face grueling schedules that push their physical and mental limits, often at the expense of their well-being as they strive to meet relentless deadlines. Industry data shows that mangaka average just 3 hours of free time weekly. A 2020 Journal of Occupational Health study further underscores the toll linking over 60-hour work weeks to severe health risk among Japanese creatives. So again, let's be grateful for what we have and send our prayers and support to those authors sacrificing their own health to please strangers they will never meet. I hope Hokuzono will get some rest, but I'm not sure about it this week because it is scheduled for Kagurabachi to release a chapter next Sunday. It's unfortunate. Had to get that out the way, but let's get into the chapter. The chapter opens with the Kamunabi leader Kasen giving us a history lesson on the origin of sorcerers. Powerful dynasties like the Sazanabe clan have existed in various places since ancient history. Sorcery was practiced in the shadows, only known to the underworld of society. It wasn't until the Seitei War 18 years ago that sorcerers became public knowledge and their activities increased. Kasen then proceeds to explain how the Kamunabi, an agency of sorcerers established by the government to bring order to the country, are just a ragtag group with no real legacy. Powerful traditional lineages don't feel a need to yield to them. And this is where I was overwhelmed with an I told you so moment, because in my last chapter video, I expressed my criticism of the Kamunabi, and now Kasen reinforces my concerns by stating that they're barely maintaining a minimal semblance of public order, which should have been obvious from the Rakuzachi. The auction didn't take place in an underground lair or on a private island. No, it was a block away from a McDonald's. The Kamunabi are ice skating up a hill. They are out of their league. So what's the correct approach to get your enemies to submit and have true law and order? You guessed it. Gain access to a nuclear bomb, i.e. the Shinuichi. Then Ichiki and Kasen converse about who or what is to blame for the malediction. Was it the weapon that committed the crime or the person wielding it? This discussion comes at an interesting time in America where gun rights are being challenged more than ever. So I enjoyed their back and forth. It's not a simple black and white issue. Should we make the lives of millions pay for a few bad apples? Anyway, Ichiki blames both the Swordmaster and the Enchanted Blade. Kasen wants to establish a new bearer and harness the power of not just the Shinuichi, but with all the Enchanted Blades, so that the Kabunabi will be the true rulers. Screw the lives of the remaining sword bearers. That's a risk he's willing to take. Well, yeah, I'm sure. He's only putting his pride on the line, not his own life. And probably the biggest bombshell of this chapter is Kasen revealing that he was the rat that gave the information about Rokihiro's hideout to the Hishaku. So put those Shiba is the traitor theories to bed. It was the goddamn Kamunabi leader that got outvoted and became the evil he swore to rid the world of. And right before Kasen could get the chance to kill Hakuri because he's the one person who's capable of foiling the Hishaku's plan if he gets his hands on the Shinuichi, AZAMI hits Kasen with the right hook and he gets slammed into the wall, seemingly passed out. Quick side note, I love how professional and cordial the conversation is between Kasen and Ichiki, because the jig is up. As soon as Ichiki and the group walked in, it is revealed that Kasen is the traitor. Ichiki could be throwing hands, throwing sorcery spells at Kasen right now, but he's patient enough to want to get a real understanding of Kasen's motives. And like I love that. I love that. I mean, like their hands are on their back. They act like this isn't a life or death moment. Like, they're just so chill about this whole situation. Okay, so Azami tells Ichiki to remain here and interrogate Kasen and figure out every last Hishaku sorcerer, while Azami plans to go take out the leader, Yura. Then the chapter cuts back to Yura taking on Natsuki and Iruha, but Yura is struggling to harness the power that the Shinoichi brings. Noticing Yura ease up his grip, Natsuki and Iruha escape from his clutches. Yura is now in his head thinking how Kiora managed to do this even with severe injuries from head to toe. Kira stocks are rising again. That man must have been a G, which I already got the impression of during the Rakuzachi arc when he, after all the chaos that's ensuing in the auction and the safety of the lives of all the people in attendance for the auction were at jeopardy, he still says, "Let the auction proceed." Ah, man. Yeah, that was great at ending to an arc. But anyway, we cut to Hokuto saying time to get to work, whatever that means. And then it appears that Yura is regaining control. What follows next appears to be a huge shockwave or horizontal slice because Iruha had the quick perception to grab Natsuki by the hair and yank him out the way of the incoming attack. The same attack that took out all the pillars that are holding this room, the library, together. The library is now crashing down, and it is revealed Yura's intention to end the life of the master swordsman, claiming that the Shinoichi will be his completely. But as he says this, Azami pulls up and kicks in the door. We cut to Kasen, still conscious, saying that it's futile, trying to go up against the power of the Shinoichi. And then we get this inner monologue from Ichiki saying that when Azami said that he was merely younger than the rest of the Kaminabi leaders, he was just being humble. His sorcery is truly outstanding. Kudo, I know. When you said Azami's on another level, you meant on every level. He'll stop them. And the chapter ends with Azami saying, "Don't worry, Rokuhira. You can rest in peace," prepping his sorcery with his famous blunt holding position. And that's the end of the chapter, ladies and gents. I hope you enjoyed it. Please leave your boy a like, comment down below, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. I'd appreciate that. I appreciate y'all. I will see y'all next week. And again, prayers out to Takaru Hokuzono. I hope he can get some rest.